Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. We are officially into February. Can you believe it? It's February 1st. Great to have you with us. We've got a great show lined up for you for the next half hour. Stick around. Some special guests. We'll get to them in a moment. But first, I want to introduce Raquel Sims, who's joining us from her. Are you at your home studio? Where exactly are you now, Raquel?
I am at my home studio. You can see the lovely pictures behind me. Yes, and good morning to everyone. I can't believe it's February. I'm just still blown away by it.
I know.
It's just crazy, but hey, we're up for this year and we're ready. And if you're not doing so already, please like and subscribe to us on all of our social media handles. And remember to share this podcast, share this stream, the Up to the Minute, so that way it could get out to everyone, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
All right, Raquel, stick around. We'll be back with you shortly. You know, every month we feature a visit from Dr. Sean Fitzpatrick, the executive director from the Jung Center, talking about mental health awareness. Good to see you again, Sean.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. We're going to check in with you in a few moments, so stick around if you would. Right now, though, our HCC guest, you've seen her before on this show. And of course, Sandra Louvier is on a number of our shows. She's the director of HCC's Northwest David and Glenda Regenbaum Center for Entrepreneurship. Good morning to you, Sandra.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me again.
It's good to see you, and I know you always got a lot of great things going on at the Entrepreneurship Center and the program that you have out there. But this morning, we're going to talk about veterans entrepreneurship. I know I featured some of guests on the topic most recently, but maybe you can tell us about the entrepreneurship program we have specifically for our veterans.
Yes, it's a collaborative program between our Northwest Center for Entrepreneurship and our Southwest Center for Entrepreneurship. And it's got 3 stages. And the first stage is about digital marketing skills for entrepreneurs. And there's lots of events going on right now for that to help entrepreneurs. And then stage 2 is the one I'm involved in, which is a presentation of our Small Business Success Series for veterans. And then stage 3 is going to be some more panels about veterans and a competition.
You know, one thing, one of the guests had told me, an interesting fact, maybe we can get your take on this as well. Apparently over the past several years, entrepreneurship with veterans the numbers have been going down. We don't see as many veteran entrepreneurs. Why do you think that is the case right now?
You know, I can only guess. I don't know, but my gut feel about that is veterans are very successful in a lot of different ways. And so when they come back from the military, they may join some other organization and get some dreams about starting their own business, but work in another organization or a company that helps them acquire the skills that they need to go out and do it on their own. It's almost like free training to go open a company the way you want it to later, but you learn on somebody else's dime, so to speak.
You know, I was also surprised that apparently when the entrepreneurship program was launched, veterans were in mind. It was the initial push to bring on more veterans. And I guess that was the case many years ago when this first started.
Yes, when we created the Small Business Success Series and started developing it, one of our first thoughts were, let's do one for veterans, let's do one for the general population and the community at large surrounding, the greater Houston area, even if they're not already going to HCC, to just empower business owners anyway. But then we said this is also very adaptable to different sections of the community like veterans. And so we're happy to get to that now that we've had 3 cohorts graduate already. Now we're going to have a veterans cohort coming up in April.
And so it starts in April, and can anyone sign up for this if you're a veteran and whether you have an existing company? How does that work?
Yes, you can go to apply and learn more about the program at hccs.edu/VEP, VEP, Veterans Entrepreneurship Program, hccs.edu/VEP. And stage 2 is the program that we're talking about, the business skills for veterans, and it's going to be the Small Business Success Series by HCC. It's got 5 amazing topics, and it runs over 5 weeks, mostly in April with the first week in May ending it up.
And for those who aren't familiar, I know you and I talked about the Small Business Success Series for a few years to promote the series itself. But for those who aren't familiar, maybe you can tell us about the Success Series and some of the graduates you have from the program, because I know you have a lot of past graduates with some amazing stories.
Yes, well, there are 5 different weeks in the Small Business Success Series for entrepreneurs to learn practical business skills. So I'll give you an example just based upon the names of each week. Vet the venture. Is your idea lucrative? Let's talk about how your idea and your business concept fits into the market at large, and can you support that? Because that's going to be an important thing to establish before you go ahead and develop the rest of it, get money. The second thing is ignite the entrepreneur in you. What are you like as a leader, and what kind of team do you assemble around you to leverage your skills and your strengths, as well as to bring in other strengths that you may feel you need more help with? And then the next one is sales and marketing. Everybody needs that. So that's one of our most popular weeks because everyone loves that and they know they need to do it. People like marketing, but they need to up their game on the sales too. And then financials, a whole week on that. And then minimizing risk in your business is the 5th week.
And each one of these modules, I would imagine, are they all done virtually now? I know you had to pivot operations where you used to have people meet on a Saturday and have in-person classes, but everything now is delivered virtually. Is that correct?
That's right. We tested them all as one-day standalone events for a while, and then we rolled it as a series in 2019 in the fall. And we delivered that on site, but we pivoted in big time and we did 2 cohorts in 2020 that were virtual. So now we're ready and we know how to do it, and we still make it very interactive and amazing with breakout rooms and all this great interaction with the instructors and with the entrepreneurs, peer-to-peer learning together.
You know, one thing, we had one of your success stories on our show, Maggie Peterson, and she had a very interesting concept with what she was starting. Maybe you can tell us a bit about her.
Well, yes, she's a very skilled veteran, and she's employed in helping veterans as well. And she's starting a business called Camp Shield. And she entered the Small Business Success Series because she said, you know, I want to up my game in this, and I want to make sure I'm doing it right because this is my baby and I want to take it to another level. So I need to practice with motivated entrepreneurs and achieve milestones to develop my concept. So she did it, and she had gone through another program previously with Harvard. And she said, you know, this one upped my game even more. And so we were very honored that she said that. And now she's supporting the next one, which will be all for veterans and recruiting other veterans into it.
It's a great program. And if you're interested in more, you can learn more about it. Check out our latest edition of The Topic. It's running on HCCTV. You can also find it in social media. And we really dive into the Veterans Entrepreneurship Program. Sandra, we appreciate you being here on the show this morning.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right. And if you're interested in the program, we'll put the links in the social media post for the show. Stay safe, Sandra. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks. Good luck. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So we're going to move on to Sean Fitzpatrick from the Jung Center. It's good to see you again, Sean. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you all doing?
I guess looking in perspective, it's all about the same. We're all working remotely and, you know, and getting used to this virtual world we're living in. But, you know, you're here to talk about mental health. And I know I was going through my notes, and there's something called Zoom fatigue. Apparently it's a real thing. And I think all of us are experiencing a bit of it.
Yeah, the language that's developed around our experiences of the pandemic is so wonderful, and Zoom fatigue is a real thing, and it might be useful to talk about it. And I can talk very personally about this experience because I've been so privileged to be able to sit at home, or today I'm in my office at the Jung Center, and still continue to work and engage with people. But there's something fundamentally different about how we're working right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we're still sequestered in many ways. You know, even though you tried, you know, one thing we do with the folks at HCCTV is we have a meeting every day, but mainly it's just so we can check in with each other, make sure somebody's doing well, because even though we're separated, you can still read someone by seeing their face on a daily basis.
You can, and it takes work. And I think it's work that we don't realize that we're doing. So this gets back to the idea of Zoom fatigue. Now, so as a therapist, it's my job to be doing what you're doing just as a good colleague. Like, it's my job to gather as much information about the person I'm sitting with as possible. Well, it used to be that they would sit here in my office and I could notice their body language. I could see how they breathed and little movements. Now, all of my attention, all the information comes from this little box, this little flat little box on the screen. And so that takes a lot of work to get to drill down and just focus on what's coming through my headphones, what's coming through the screen. And it does wear us out.
Is it important to distinguish your work life and your home life? I mean, all of us are working from home right now. Many of us are working from home. And, sometimes it gets kind of fuzzy when you distinguish between the two, because you find that you could be working all the time.
That's exactly right. And Todd, not to put you on the spot, but sure looks like, I don't think that's a set. Like you're in your home right now, right? Yeah. So
office,
So I'm curious. I have some thoughts about this, but I'm curious. How do you stop working? How do you tell yourself that you're done?
Well, what I've started doing is I'll actually close my computer.
Yeah.
That's a big step. I close my computer, but I can still hear the emails going off. And then I've got my phone. I'm working on my phone. So I do find that I answer more emails. I'm working a little bit later, and sometimes you may work in the morning, take some time in the afternoon, go for a walk, go for a run, but then again, you're back working at 8 o'clock at night. So it's a weird world.
Yeah, it is. And that has long-term effects on us. So our bodies, one of the groups with which I'm privileged to work are the forensic investigators of Harris County. And they actually raised this as an issue. How do you unplug, right? How do you leave work behind, particularly when a good chunk of your work is now telecommuting? That word commute actually means to transform. And what those of us who had been commuting have lost is something really important for our bodies and our psyches, which is the time between our roles, right? Yeah. The time between our work roles and our home roles. So I have some thoughts about this. I think one of the things that can help us is to create a really deliberate, small but deliberate ritual or set of steps around how to make that transformation. And Todd, it sounds like you're already well on your way to that, right? So you're going to close your computer. Mm-hmm. That's a simple physical thing you do to tell yourself that you are done with work. You've closed out the day, right? You've closed out work, even though it's pushing through and dings on your phone and stuff, right? The second thing we do is we still need to commute, right? We still need to transform. And that can be, again, something that is, you're telling yourself that you're moving from one state to another. I read an interesting article about this in the Times a couple of weeks ago, the New York Times. And the author was saying, she uses that time still that she would be commuting to get up, get out of the house, take a walk. Yeah. Right. And if you're privileged enough to live in a neighborhood where you can do that safely, that's a great idea. It doesn't have to be that long. Some people take showers. Some people, I've heard it really just taking and picking up a piece of equipment on their desk and moving it on their table and moving it off. So they're telling themselves that transition has happened. The third step is to walk into your house. What do you need to do to open the door of your home, right? Open the door to your home and be present. I've heard a lot of wonderful ideas about this, and some of them, the first thought I have is usually has to do with pets. You have somebody in your life, if you have animals in your life and you're able to connect right with the pet, well, it tells you that you're not at work anymore, right? Yeah. You're a human being who's relating to something else and something that's giving you lots of unconditional positive regard, right? That changes the role, right? That changes you in a really significant way. Connecting with loved ones is a great way to do it. Some people cook. Mr. Rogers, I love like what Mr. Rogers used to do. Those of us, I know I'm dating myself, but you used to watch Mr. Rogers, right? The beginning of every show, he opens the door, he takes off his coat and he puts on his sweater. Puts on a sweater, right? Yep. Takes off his loafers, puts on his shoes. That's opening the door to your home, right? And
we all could use a little bit more Mr. Rogers in our lives. Yeah. I'm a big proponent on that. So, Sean, during these times, how easy is it for people to slip into some type of depression? And are there warning signs that, you may want to look, I may need to talk with somebody? We always promote at HCC that we have advisors and counselors available to our faculty, staff, and most importantly, our students. But what are some of the things you should be watching for yourself on whether you need to seek some help?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and I have seen writing about this and talked with other colleagues about it, how COVID has actually kind of it's made things more difficult for us, and also the cumulative effect of being isolated has really kind of made us blind to how we're doing. And I can speak. Well, I could speak to that in a minute from personal experience. But the very first thing we want to be concerned with always is whether or not we are having thoughts about harming ourselves, right? And I want to be clear too that these are not conscious. Like, we don't choose this for the most part. These are things that happen within us, and they have a really important symbolic function, which is not to tell us that our physical life needs to come to an end, but that tells us that this way of life this way of living has to come to an end.
Yeah.
So we want to take those seriously and honor the messages that they're trying to give us when they come up, right? And those images or fantasies come up. The second thing, and I know many of us aren't dealing with that, with suicidal thoughts, but may be struggling. And so the second question is really pragmatic: is, wait, am I living the life that I want to be living right now? Am I functioning the way that I know I can function? And so that's sometimes useful. And that's, if you're not, it's a useful time to reach out for help. I think men particularly, not just men, but men particularly, their depression tends to show up as anger and impulsive acts in the world. And they tend more to act out and to not look like they're trapped in, they can't get out of bed in the morning, or
right.
some of the more traditional ways we think of depression. So it's I think being, more than anything else, curious about how you're doing and asking yourself on a regular basis, have I stopped reaching out to my siblings? That was the case for me over that, during the holiday break, was I looked up and I realized that I'd ghosted. I have two brothers and a sister, and each one of them had reached out to me within the last 6 weeks, and I had ghosted all of them. And it wasn't intentional. Oh, I was busy. Right. I had too many things going on. But no, actually, it was hard for me to relate to them. And I was actually struggling with some depression, and I had to take a look at that.
So always some great advice. Sean, if I know you have a number of programs you guys are offering virtually right now with the Jung Center, maybe you can bring us an update, because you planned on opening in a limited fashion today, correct?
Yes, that is true. All of our programming, we do actually have art in the gallery, and on a limited basis, and as staff are available, people are going to be welcome back into our space. We'll let people in the building for about 15 minutes at a time, and a limited number of people. But we know that for our mental health, it's helpful for the mental health of our staff to be back in this space and to be learning how to interact in the new COVID reality, because it's not going away anytime soon. We just seem like it's always a new chapter every few days. Something new happens. Sean Fitzpatrick, it's the Jung Center. If you'd like to find them online, we'll have the link in our social media post for the show, but you can visit junghouston.org, JUNG Houston.org. Sean, we appreciate you joining us here today. Thank you so much, Todd and Raquel. Take care.
Take care. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right. So Raquel, a little bit of HCC news and information. We've got some things going on, including the Ideas Pitch competition happening about a week from today.
Yes, so the popular entrepreneurial initiatives competition returns, y'all. It's returning this spring. HCC students can share their creative ideas and innovations for sustainability and social needs. Individuals or teams can pitch a product or service, and the entries must be submitted by between February 8th through April 30th. So you have some time, but don't wait till the last minute. Please get your entries in, and you can send them into hccs.edu/pitch and visit that for more information. And Todd, before anything, I really just want to thank the doctor that was just on, because that really hit home for me, because when the pandemic first struck, and just during the pandemic of me still working from home, I kind of was going through like a mental roller coaster, you know, with just trying to work from home and trying to find like a schedule or a ritual to close my laptop or come to a different room or go running. And I'm like a very in-person type of person. And so I haven't had that connection. So I'm happy he brought that up today.
Yeah, it's something we all need to watch, you know, and I guess it's easy during this time to really slip off into a little bit of depression, you know, and main thing is HCC has resources available. Of course, you can reach out to the Jung Center as well, and they have some great programming online, but faculty, staff, and particularly our students, we have advisors and counselors that are available for you. You can reach them through our website. So we encourage you to do that if you need to. All right, Rec Sports. They've got a number of things happening. Real quickly, just going to run through these. Super Bowl Pick'em. That's right, Super Bowl is coming up. Students can pick the winner for the NFL Pick'em by going to Presence and filling out the Pick'em form. We'll have the link in our social media post for the show. Mondays and Wednesdays, they've got deep stretching classes. Also Mondays and Fridays, meditation and yoga. And boot camp and Zumba. Those are happening Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh, and guess what? Fridays, Twerk Fitness is back with the V Sisters. They're back doing some stuff online, so you definitely want to check them out. All right, Veterans Resource Fair. That's happening a week from Thursday, Raquel.
Yes, so the Veteran and Military Affiliated Student Success is sponsoring a Veterans Resource Fairs to learn about community and educational resources that are available. This is happening Thursday, February 11th, so that's right around the corner. It starts at 10 a.m. and it's going all the way through to noon. Please RSVP by the 9th. Don't forget the RSVP date. And then for details, please email Lewis. Ooh, so I'm going to the link is going to be
link. Yeah, we'll put it in the social media post. It's a very long email, but we'll put it in the post.
Yes.
All right, so we'll look for, if you would like to register, we'll give you the email address. HCC Northeast has a town hall with Dr. Monique Umphrey, the president of HCC Northeast College. Join the president virtually as she gives her state of the college and words of encouragement to the students, followed by a Q&A session. It's Tuesday, February 16th, 1:30 to 2:30. It's a WebEx event, and you can check the district's Facebook page for the link. Okay, real quickly, Raquel, Second Start registration is underway because classes begin February 16th.
Yes, the class began February 16th. Second Start is underway. HCC has announced changes to its learning options. Online courses will not change, but Flex Campus will remain online for a while. So make sure you stay up to speed with all of the changes that are going on, because there will be some. So it's just good to keep up to date with those. Right. Don't forget to register.
Yeah, register early. Any classes we hold on campus, especially the lab-based courses, are very small class sizes. So you want to register, get the class you want, the professor you want. Now's the time to do so. Go to hccs.edu/now. All right, so we're about to wrap up the show for today. Tomorrow, we've got some special guests, including someone from Urban Harvest that'll be here.
Yes, Urban Farm, Miss Kim Perry. She will tell us about how that longtime nonprofits fills farmers markets from community gardens, and she promises to share and prepare a favorite dish, ooh, yummy, from one of those gardens. So that's exciting. And we will also welcome back Alyssa DeJean of HCC's cosmetology department, who will give us a report card on how her students are doing in the lab. So that's exciting. And following safety protocols, passing their classes, graduating in December, and gaining employment. Isn't that some great news? Seriously.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show tomorrow. All right, Raquel, thanks for being here today, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope everyone has a great week.
That's right. Beginning of February, we made it through. We got another work week ahead of us. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day today, so make sure you get out, mask up, stay safe. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. live right here on Up to the Minute.